Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel. Noticing that I need to shave. Um, but today I wanted to talk about ADHD, ADD, because I hear a lot of people mention this. Like, it's a common thing that I hear with people I work with and the people I talk with. And I realize I have strong opinions about it. Um, but I wanted to summarize in a video, half for me to get this out of my system, half that I think this is going to help people. So one, I think this shit is made up. I think this was meant to sell drugs. The specific disorder, everyone's distracted. No one on this planet is good at not being distracted. And no one really, as a child, can sit in a chair and do well unless they have some intrinsic motivation to do so. Like they really want to please their parents. I know that's why I was good in school for a long time and I could play the game is because I really want to please my parents or they really want to please the teacher. They want to be the good kid, right? So that's an aspect of a way we survive is being the good kid. So many children fall into that category and many children can't do that. They're not actually a bully or a clown, but they can't fall into any category. So when kids can't fit into the structure of our public school system, which is fucked, like it is fucked. It is basically a prison, right? Basically what you do is you take two people that don't like each other, one beats them up and one's getting beat up by them, and you put them in the same place. Like if we're adults, you go to jail if you beat up another adult. Like it is a long-term offense. So no adults are beating up other adults and bullying, right? You can't do that in the workplace. You'd be kicked out right away. For some reason in school, this is allowed. Like I still don't get it. It's bizarre. So you're basically going into an environment that is super unsafe, that there is no people watching, there is no boundaries, and it's kind of like let kids be kids, right? Like let boys be boys, let women be women. This is just how it is. Bizarre. And then you take many times people with ADHD are emotional empaths, and you put them in these situations. They can't do it. Like you're so distracted by the emotions of unsafety, you're basically going into a children's prison that's teaching them something, and you expect to pay attention when there's like 1,000 energies flowing around you and no one wants to be there, including the teacher who's underpaid, right? So there's that energy coming in. This teacher has been working for 10 years. They get paid. This is her degree. They get super underpaid in the United States. If you're not in the United States, that might not be the case. But then you have that energy on top of it, all the teachers complaining in the teacher's lounge, right? Hiding. So you have feeling that. And then someone tells you you're supposed to pay attention. You can't. So they give you some synthesized version of meth. So not all of them, right? Adderall is there's non-synthetic, there's non-stimulating focusing medicines. They're not better. That's like saying Diet Coke is better than Coke. Like it's maybe better, but it has other things happening, right? So basically you're telling this child that because you can't focus in an unsafe environment that we've created, that you need to have this medicine. So one, right away at a certain age, you've been given a belief that the way you are isn't good and you need to change. So that is ingrained in you, in your consciousness, right? Like you aren't good enough without something given to you or some healer healing you or something outside of you. Like I do healing work and channeling work with people, but by no means do any of these people need me. They would be fine without me. They might be in more pain, they might have as much clarity, but I am not necessary for their existence. You are told you need something, this thing to exist. And this happened to me. So I'm speaking from a place. You need this to exist. You need this to fit in. You need this to be okay. And that comes later in alcohol or healers or lots of things or relationships. Like it's going to manifest in other things later. So most of the diagnostic material in the DSM is made up to sell drugs. The pharmaceutical that whole area is very dark. It's not out for your best interest. It makes drugs that kind of help you so then they can make money. Let's be real. So this has been created this ADHD diagnosis to sell drugs. This one specifically is the most ridiculous because it's basically saying you can't stay on task doing something you don't like doing. So for you to be a good slave and sit still and learn what we're telling you to learn, we're going to give you meth. This is what they gave freaking soldiers that were in the Nazi army so they could stay up all night and go to war. So like this is the same drug, right? And people say, well, I can get more shit done. Sure, you can get more shit. I can get more shit done if I drink 4 Red Bulls. Like I will be very motivated. But like the side effects of me drinking 4 Red Bulls is that's not a good plan. There was people, executives doing cocaine, which might actually be better for you than ADHD drugs. So and less addictive, very addictive, but like the withdrawals aren't as strong because it's meth. It's fabricated. Like cocaine is at least like a plant that they used to chew the leaves and then they made into a powder. Like it's actually, if it's cut right, healthier than these drugs. So one, if you get diagnosed with this, just throw it out. It's not real. So I just want this belief system to be out. They gave me all these things. I can't focus. I can't do things. I'm making a video. I'm making money paying off debt. I live in an apartment that I love. I'm also running another company. So I'm doing 3 things, right? But I cannot go to a job and sit in an office for very long. I couldn't do it. I quit every time because that's not natural for me. It's not natural for most people, but it's not natural for me. That's why entrepreneurs usually quit school. It just happens. So if we know this, why are we diagnosing people that can't fit that slavery factory model? So we're just going to throw that diagnosis out. It's not damaging. If you're distracted for a while and you can't get something done, it's not ruining your life. You're going to be okay. You might not do your taxes on time, whatever. You'll pay some fines. Like you're not actually like someone that has schizophrenia that's hears the devil that tells them to kill someone. Like this is legit, right? Someone that's suicidal. Like this, but you're not in danger. You're in danger of maybe not like getting shit done, but that's not actual danger. So it's not like make this into something that is bigger than it. You might not get your homework done on time, but it doesn't matter and you get to the next grade. Like it's not that important. And then you can be who you are when you're off these medicines. So I was taking tons of prescription drugs. Everyone said I need healers. And I go get massages and stuff, but like I'm good the way I am. I'm not supposed to fit in this model. And either are you if you're watching this video. You're not supposed to fit in the model. You're not going to do it the way you've been told you need to do it. And by any means, how you've done things in the past isn't how we're going to do things 40 years. Do you realize that 30 years ago was 1990? If you are like 15, 20, or 24, by the time you're 54, your parents' year age, it's going to be 30 years. The world's going to change as much as it changed from 1990, before people had cell phones or barely had internet, to now. Can you imagine what it's going to be like in 30 more years? You think this is going to stop this like crazy? I'm on a video talking to you live for free. You couldn't even make a long distance phone call for free in 1990. It was expensive. How much are things going to do? Do you think you're going to fit into a model that you were taught 10 years ago? Do you think your parents' way of being and getting a job is going to fit the world? Do you think even we're going to need these things, these systems? Do you think they're going to exist? No. So you trying to fit in now doesn't make sense, because you're trying to fit in to a system that'll be gone in 2 days, maybe probably longer. But like you get the point. So breathe in and relax, and we're going to just clear this energy out of your system, because it's bullshit. It's old. It doesn't exist. So now I'm going to bring through a channeling. I'm going to bring through the Pleiadians to talk about ADHD specifically. So I'm going to channel high dimensional beings, talk about ADHD, right? I can get so distracted that I can bring in other beings through my body. You see how this is a gift, not a curse. So I'm going to do this and then I'll end the video. Hello. Let us come into the field. Daniel, thank you so much for bringing us through. We are the Pleiadians of Light. We would say, the council that brings through information and guidance to our people. Our government isn't something that is telling you rule by rule. It gives guidance and you can follow it. And we want to give guidance around prescription drugs and ADHD specifically because this is their focus, but we will kind of spin it a little bit. One, you are okay how you are. You are perfect how you are. You are meant to come in the way you're meant to come in. Two, there is no such thing as electrical magnetic misfirings in your brain. This is an old way of looking at mental health, that your brain doesn't have the right chemicals, blah, 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 blah. This is old. This is old way of looking at really your molecular structure and how your body works in a vibrational accordance with many things. It is old. It is like looking at the outside of a computer, just the box, and saying that's how a computer works. You didn't go inside and look at the hardware or the vibration and how it interacts. Your medical field in the next 20 years won't even resemble what it is now. It won't even be close. It won't even be close. It won't even be close. It wasn't the same 20 years ago. It won't be the same. When it comes to ADHD, we think this is ridiculous. This is your medical field manipulation, manipulating people into believing something that doesn't exist. Your medical field is corrupt at its core, not at its edges. The therapists, the people working at the edges aren't corrupt. The people running the healing centers, trying to change your brain, all those things aren't corrupt, but they are trained by a corrupt core. And until they see that corrupt core and they actually call it out for what it is, it will spread to those people. It is like a game of telephone that has gone too long. But people that see the core as bullshit will be able to stop it and give new information. They want to sell you drugs, dear ones. They want to sell you things. They want to keep up their facade. The pharmaceutical companies have been shown to be corrupt, but people still take their drugs. It would be like your drug dealer who sells you crack. You know that they sell you bad crack, but you still buy their crack. It is that bad, dear ones, and it's the new drug dealers in white coats. We know this could be jarring for you and can throw things off, but this is what's happening. And if you're listening to this, we appreciate you hearing this message. Cool. Thank you. I will be bringing that through. It's what I've been hearing from the Pleiadians for a long time, that the medical field is corrupt, like in a deep level. And we kind of all know it. Like, we all know it, right? When you go to a hospital and you like get a Band-Aid and it's $100, you know something's corrupt. Like, it's not, there's no more logic there. It's just, and if you break your arm and you go to the hospital, I think that's great. Like, I think that's where we excel, right? I think we can probably heal that stuff in different ways. I have a feeling. But for now, that works. Other than that, it is a corrupt business that is trying to take things from you. So from someone that's been diagnosed with all these things and then hasn't taken medicine and doing better than ever before, it'll take some time of like figuring out who the fuck you are. When you get off medications like this or prescriptions and you get off this like my brain is off belief system and you go to this new thing, you're gonna be like for a while. It's okay. That's part of the process. But if you reach out to me in the comments if you have questions, I'd love to answer them. You can email me at Channeling the Cosmos. You can subscribe because I'll make videos like this. You can like it. You can share it. You can say how gorgeous I am. Whatever works. I'm just joking. Well, I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.